Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure. And this is my perspective. So I'm not going to waste too much time. This one is going viral. We're going to end up talking about some of the things that were said in this interview between Monique and Shannon Sharp on his podcast, Club Shay Shay. But right now, what we're going to do is take a real quick look at this clip where she speaks on when Tiffany Haddish decided to speak on her husband. And then I'm going to give my perspective. So here we go.
Question my husband and why is he there? You would hope you would have one like that. I remember our beautiful sister Tiffany Haddish did an interview with GQ magazine. And this, in my humble opinion, is where we keep throwing each other under the bus. You're doing an interview with GQ magazine, and I'm assuming the journalist was a white person. And the conversation turned to Monique. And she said, well, I don't do business like Monique do business, and I'm glad I don't have that husband of hers.
But you don't know your husband.
And when I saw that, it's like, Tiffany, if you had a husband like mine, you may not have 2 DUIs. If you had a husband like mine, you may not be caught up in what looks like you could have been grooming a child. And I say all of that with no judgment. But when you speak about having a husband like mine, you open up the door. And I'm saying to you, if you had one like mine, you may not sit in these positions that you can't explain the next day.
Right.
Or it's a hard way to go. So once again.
Well, she doesn't even have a husband, let alone like yours.
Well, damn it. Now you said it. I sipped on that, Shannon. That was a sip. That required a sip.
You, Moesha.
So when people question.
So you heard what Monique had to say in this clip regarding an interview that Tiffany Haddish did with GQ magazine. This had to be maybe 2018 or 2019 or something like that. And she was talking about how I don't do business like Monique, basically trying to distance herself from the whole Monique thing. We are familiar with Monique basically being blackballed, having this beef with Oprah, having this beef with Tyler Perry, having this beef with Lee Daniels, all off the back of the whole situation with Precious. She had a whole thing going on with Oprah off of the back of Oprah show where Oprah was going to have her brother on, Monique's brother on, which Monique says, molested her when she was young, and she don't mess with her brother because of that. And so there's a whole thing there. We can cover all of that later. However, Tiffany was trying to distance herself from Monique with all of that. Okay. But then she decided to speak on Monique's husband. Well, I'm glad I don't have that husband of hers. The problem with it is that it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about Monique's marriage and her relationship with her husband. It doesn't matter if we think something funny is going on, if we think that it's awesome, if we don't think it's awesome, or whatever the dynamics are. Everybody can have their opinion on it. But the thing about that is Monique is married to that man. None of us have to deal with their marriage. They are dealing with their marriage however they dealing with their marriage. And if they like it, I love it, baby. If you don't scream, I won't holler. Okay? So in reality, it's really not anybody's business what the dynamics are of her marriage between her and her husband. They've been married for years, whatever. It's not affecting us one way or the other. And it wasn't affecting Tiffany either. The point that Monique was making, though, is that if you had a husband, if you had someone that was giving you system, order, and structure, that was bringing order to all of your chaos, beloved, then you wouldn't be in the situations that you find yourself in all the time. Tiffany is not in the headlines because of a great show she did. Tiffany is not in the headlines because of a great movie role. Tiffany is not in the headlines for some positive thing that she was a part of or something that she did. Tiffany be in the headlines because she be getting caught up in DUIs. She be getting caught in public sloppy drunk. She be getting caught up in public with all of these problems. She's a drinker. She's likely depressed somehow. You know, I feel like, this is just my personal opinion, I feel like it's got something to do with that whole situation about the grooming of the child. Y'all remember that her and Ari Spears had kind of got into a little bit of a mix with? Remember that? See, I be feeling like certain things go on for certain reasons, and you say yes and put your name on a dotted line, and then it don't go the way it's supposed to, right? It doesn't happen the way they swore down it was gonna happen. So now you sitting somewhere looking stupid with all kinds of egg on your face because now you're known for this thing, but not known for the catapulting that the machine promises you that it's going to do for your career. Her career is destroyed. Tiffany, and the reason why her career is destroyed is because Tiffany doesn't have the talent to climb out of it. She's not a beloved comedian. She's not, you know, like people don't, she's not legendary. She's not publicly really liked like that. It's lukewarm, right? She doesn't have a super strong loyal fan base like that. The only thing she's got is the sisterhood. The sisterhood will come try to take up for her at some point for some things. But because she's not talented, because she's not funny, because she's not able to even start small with stand-up comedy shows, and people know that they're going to enjoy a good show when they go see her. I don't even remember, when has Tiffany ever even done a stand-up comedy show? Where's her stand-up at? I've never seen her do stand-up. I mean, maybe she has done it, but I don't recall seeing any Tiffany Haddish stand-up. I remember seeing her doing little skits and stuff, but not an actual stand-up comedy routine. And as much as I'm not necessarily a Monique fan in terms of her comedy, she has done stand-up. You can go find video of Monique doing a stand-up routine. Like, you can find it. So that's basically what Monique is trying to tell her. That's what she said. When you speak on it, it opens you up, because now I can speak on you. And you don't have any good things to speak on. Now, do you, Tiffany? And this is why a lot of folk need to keep their mouth shut. Lots of folks need to keep their mouth shut about that. Because Monique is right. If you had any kind of man in your life that cared about you, that loved you, that wanted the best for you, and was looking out for your well-being, there is no way you would be suffering in however you suffering by yourself, suffering silently, where we get to witness the aftermath in things like catching you sloppy drunk behind the wheel and getting charged with a DUI. That is an indicator of so many other issues that Tiffany is dealing with. Because you don't just keep getting caught up with DUIs and keep getting caught up in public sloppy drunk like that, looking like who done it and what for, if you ain't having some type of personal problem. You having a personal problem. You're not somewhere just drinking socially or whatever. You are drunk. What the old folk call it, you a lush. So you got your own issues. Please stop speaking on people. part of that misery is not having a man. That's part of it. When she broke up with Common, that was like some nails in the coffin for Tiffany. And then her career is not even making up for it, where she can be busy, or she can say she's got money, or she can say that she's successful in her profession. Not even that. Tiffany's circling the drain. Somebody need to come get her. Somebody in her family that know her and love her need to come get her. Point blank. Jump down in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.